It's Be More coming to you guys. I am super excited. I am celebrating my 1 year anniversary here in the City of Angels. And I've gotten so many questions about how my year has been, the transition, and I know you guys want the truth and nothing but the truth. So I've decided to do a video for you guys, and I'm going to give you guys my top 5 lessons I've learned while living here in Los Angeles for 1 year. And I'm going to answer some questions you guys have been sending me. So without further ado, let's get to it.
We back and 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 we back.
Lesson number 5. I've learned from moving from Chicago here to Los Angeles that friendships will change. They will evolve. For me, uprooting from what I know, what I've learned, moving to a place where I only know maybe a handful of people, for me, it was a bit much. It was a lot. It's a lot that went on with me mentally, emotionally, spiritually. However, the great thing that I loved about my journey this year is that I had so much support from my friends and from my family. However, with that being said, for me, there were a lot of times where I felt like I could talk about my journey and I could talk about the process that I was going through, but a lot of my family and friends who haven't been through a similar journey just couldn't relate. So they support in the ways that they could. So for me, one thing that I was so grateful for myself and for my friends is that we gave ourselves that patience and that time to kind of recalibrate and figure out this newfound friendship that we have long distance, which for some people, it just works. Sometimes it doesn't work. For me, it has been successful because my family and friends totally support my dreams. They totally support what I'm doing. So for me, it's a thing of, if you are getting ready to move, if you are going to uproot yourself and go for a job, go for a dream, go for a goal, just give yourself time and patience and understand that the transition that you're having and that you're taking, you can't put a time limit on it. And you also have to make sure that you keep in contact with your family and friends. For me, I feel like sometimes I felt really guilty because I didn't have enough time to contact my family and friends like I would if I was in the same city with them. But they also understand, like, I'm working, I'm moving, I'm trying to hustle, I'm trying to transition. So for me, it was a thing of I didn't feel any remorse for saying, yo, I'm sorry, I don't have time to kind of talk to you. But like I said, every situation is different. For me, it kind of worked out. However, I will say with this lesson number 5, understand relationships and friendships change. Give yourself time, give yourself space to adjust. And don't be so hard on yourself and don't be so hard on your friends if they just don't understand your journey. Lesson number 5.
We back and we back.
Lesson number 4. LA is not a place to find yourself. If you find yourself coming from somewhere else in the world to the City of Angels, if you're chasing a dream or you come here for a job or you come here for a goal, do not try to find yourself here. I have seen it happen with some of my friends and some people that I know. You can't come here thinking that, oh, I'm going to figure out what I want to do. That is highly not suggested. I think for me, if I was giving someone advice who was getting ready to move, whether it was LA or Atlanta or New York or Chicago, especially in the entertainment industry, whatever market you move to, have a plan. Go there with intention. Don't just go there thinking like, oh, I'm going to figure something out. At least have a strategy. Because when you come here to the City of Angels specifically, you got to have a plan. If not, you're going to lose yourself. You're going to find yourself working and doing things that you don't want to do, working a boring job that you don't want to work, and then you're going to be trying to figure out why you feel depressed, why you feel all this negative energy and vibes around you, and what is going on with your life. So, lesson number 4, be unapologetic about going after what you have to go after to reach your goal. Have that goal in mind, go after it, be unapologetic. I also will say with this lesson, for me this year, I've learned that you got to protect your peace. You have to protect your mental and spiritual peace and be unapologetic about it. And those who rock with you, those who are part of the journey with you, who are going to continue to be a part of the journey with you, they're going to understand that. Anybody else who can't rock with it, they can move to the side. But for me, it's something that the moment that I feel like my peace is being neglected, I got to change up what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, me being here by myself with my friends, and then I also have a few family members who are here who have been totally supportive, I understand that I don't necessarily have the outreach that I had when I was in Chicago, where I could go to several of my family members' houses and kind of talk to them and vent with them and talk about, my process and my journey and be like, I'm not sure. You got to be careful who you talk to. That's a part of protecting your peace. So for lesson number 4, know who you are, know where you want to go, and be unapologetic about going after that. And at all costs, protect your peace. Lesson number 4.
We back and we back and we back.
Lesson number 3. The struggle is real. Prioritize, and once again, prioritize. Here, within this year that I've been here in Los Angeles, I've learned that I have to prioritize everything. I think I've always been an organizer and I've always been a planner. That's always been kind of my thing. However, moving to a new city, for me, it was a new pulse. It was a different pulse that was different than visiting the city, because I had an opportunity to visit the city before moving. However, when you live here, you become a resident, you become a person who is not leaving this place and was actually going to be permanently here, at least for the time being. You understand? You got to prioritize everything. For me, I live by my planner. I always tell anybody I'm working with, if it's not in my planner and it's not in my phone, it's not happening. I have to prioritize everything down to my bills, to my me time, to my workout plan, to what I'm going to eat. For me, for those things that I put in my planner and in my phone, if I don't put them there, I'll forget, because when you get into a place where you're moving so much, you can forget simple stuff like, oh, wow, I should probably eat. That's probably something that I should do immediately. And it sounds really dumb and it sounds like, oh, how could you forget to eat? But when you're moving, when you're on set, you're working 12 plus hours on a film or TV set. These are simple things that can just literally get overlooked. So prioritizing has been definitely a big rule for me since I've been here. I will also say with prioritizing, that you also have to figure out who is for you and who is not for you in this journey. I think that also goes towards prioritizing and organizing. I think for me, coming from the Midwest and just from my journey and experience growing into the woman that I am, I can have a way that I can decipher, all right, who is really here to kind of help me with the journey and I can help them, and it can be vice versa, versus who is really just trying to get something out for themselves. You have to be a true decipher of that. Some people say it's a spirit of discernment. However you choose to word it, you got to know, all right, let me prioritize. Is this person for me or is this person not for me? I will also say, as a glowing artist and an artist on the glow, I would say for this glow up journey, you also have to understand, like, you have to survive. So there will be times when maybe you aren't working on set. Maybe you aren't working on a project. You still have to eat. You still got to be able to pay bills. So for me, this journey has been, okay, adulting, balancing, figuring out, okay, how can I survive, as well as how can I continue to strive and grow as an artist. Prioritize is the only thing that I can say with that. Lesson number 3. Number 2. Every opportunity is worth 1 second. Every second is worth 1 opportunity. Every moment of every second of every day is an opportunity worth grabbing. For me, I've learned here in Los Angeles, networking is part of socializing. So for those who may be introverts, you got to figure out a way that you can socialize and take advantage of opportunities if socializing with people and being out in the public or being amongst people is trepidatious for you. That is the advice that I would give someone. It has truly helped me for sure, because what I've learned about the culture here is that most of the times when you're socializing, you're networking. Now, the thing that I have learned is that once you get in front of some of these people that you've only dreamed about, that you've only thought about, that you've only seen on TV, when you get in front of them, what will that conversation be? Do you just want to get a picture for the gram? That is cool for some people. Or do you want to turn that into an opportunity? And only you can decide what that is. I think for me, I've thought of different conversation starters that I can use when I'm in the room with people. Whether it's knowing where they're from, whether they're from Chicago or from another place. And also, real quick side note, I found out Chicago is truly deep here in Los Angeles. Literally, every place I go, I keep finding another person from Chicago or connected to Chicago. So it does help with having that sense of familiarity, especially in a socializing environment. But back to my point, when you get in front of these people that you've only dreamed about meeting, what is going to be your conversation starter? It can be your hometown, if that's a common thing for you, or it can be the school that you graduated from. I am an alumna of the Mecca Howard University, so I've had a chance to meet a few people who have graduated from my school. That has been a conversation starter. But for me, I've learned that it's not just enough to get a picture on the gram some of the times. For me, it's, okay, I want you to remember me. I want you to remember this moment because I want you to know we can do some things together. We can work together, okay? We're in this industry where literally every second is an opportunity, and it's only you that can decide whether or not you're going to grab that opportunity. So I would say with lesson number 2, that is definitely a major lesson that I've learned. I've also learned that while you are probably working on production gigs here, for most people, especially for me, 12 hours a day, 13 hours a day, working on set, you always have to make time for yourself to build your artistry. You can work for someone else's dreams, you can work for someone else's project, but at the end of the day, that may be not enough for you. For me, it definitely isn't. So even if I'm dog tired and I'm like, yo, I just want to come home, I want to binge watch on some shows, maybe talk to some of my friends, I have to remember, like, I'm here for a reason. I have to make sure I stay focused. So even those times when I don't feel like I got the energy, I have to muster up the energy to remember, like, you got things you need to do and goals to accomplish. Like this one, that you have people who are looking to you, who have helped you on your journey, that are looking for you to win. You got to win. And with that, that may mean, okay, I just worked a 12-hour shift. I need to spend the next 3-4 hours working on the script, working on this monologue, shooting this self-tape. Do what you got to do. It's a part of the post. It's a part of the journey. And you got to trust the process. That is my lesson number 2.
We back and we.
I know you've been waiting for it. Lesson before we start. Drum roll. Lesson number 1. Uno. My faith will be the ultimate dictator of my destiny. I am a spiritual person. I talk about this a lot on my videos. I talk about my walk sometimes. And I also am very transparent that I am a believer in Christ. I know that not one man can dictate my destiny like my God. And so for me, going into certain meetings, going into certain strategy sessions, I have that in the back of my mind and I have that embedded in my thoughts. Because although you always want to make sure that you're nurturing relationships, you want to make sure that you are treating people with the amount of respect and kindness that you should be, ultimately know that at the end of the day, there's not one person who is going to be able to write the journey that you have for your life and that you want for your life. So for me, I know that, and I have a confidence going in. It's not an arrogance, it's not ego, but it's a confidence knowing that at the end of the day, I know God has got me here. I know that everything from the things in my room to where I'm living, all of those things have been because God has graced those things with me. He has used his amazing grace to help me get where I am. He's used his amazing mercy to help me when I needed help the most. And that at the end of the day, regardless if opportunity works out or it doesn't, I know that I have visions and I have dreams that will be accomplished, whether that person is a part of it that I'm in front of or not. I will also say this year has been full of failure. It has been full of struggle. It has been full of literally some days not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to face it, but yet still getting up during those times and understanding like, all right, cool. If I can't take the thought of getting through the day, I can at least take the thought of getting through the second. 1 second can lead to 1 minute. 1 minute can lead to 1 hour. 1 hour can lead to 1 day. And sometimes those have been the driving force thoughts that have really gotten me through some of my tough days. I know people sometimes will look at people's Instagrams and social medias as a way of dictating, oh, well, life is good, life is great. Yes, you're alive. Yes, you're breathing, but it has not been all sunshine. And I have gotten some rude awakenings, and that is the matter of the truth. I think that for anybody who may be thinking about taking a journey and taking a leap of faith, going somewhere you haven't been before, or going after a dream or a goal that you want to go after, there is going to be failure. There will be struggle, but that doesn't mean you stop. That don't mean you quit, but you have to figure out a way to get through those times because they're inevitable. Failure is inevitable, especially if you have a goal and dream that you're going after. And I believe that every person that is watching this video, you have a dream, you have a goal, you have something in your destiny that only you can accomplish. So with that, understand that there will be times when you are in the valley. Understand that there will be times when you will be low. There will be some times when you don't feel like moving forward. But I hope you remember this video and go back and be like, all right, cool. Today is a tough one, but all right, let me take it 1 second. 1 second leads to 1 minute. 1 minute leads to an hour. 1 hour can lead to a day, and a day can lead to a lifetime. So I will say with this lesson number 1, also understanding that here, whether you're in Hollywood, whether you're in LA, or whatever market you're in, understand that you have to go through life with intention. And for me, that has been the greatest lesson that I have learned. I think for me, the goals and dreams that I want to accomplish, if there wasn't any struggle, if it was just easy, I don't think that one, I would be as humble. I don't think that another thing, it would be one thing worth striving for. I don't think that I would have total fulfillment in it if it came that easy to me. So I understand with every failure, there will at least be one win. You can hear 9 no's, but it just takes that one yes. And with that one yes, that is what can lead you into the life of your dreams. But it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But if it is meant for you, it will happen. You will succeed and you will win. That has been the greatest lesson that I have learned being here in LA. Lesson number 1. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I always enjoy our time together. These have been my 5 lessons learned for my 1-year anniversary here in LA. As always, you guys can check me out on social media at I am Briana Morris. You can check out my website at www.iambmore.com. And go ahead, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. You got more videos coming to you like this, more content coming like this. And I got a few things I've been working up. So you want to make sure that you go ahead and subscribe so you can stay locked on all things Be More. As always, earn your sleep. Hustle more, live more, love more. This is Be More signing out saying, peace.